Hey everybody, it's Misty here, and thought it would be nice to do a restorative type of practice. This is a great bedtime practice. If you're ready to calm down, if you're ready to let the nervous system just melt in, this is a great practice for you. So all you'll need is some pillows. I'm going to use blocks and blankets for this practice, but again, the goal here is to let go. So get yourself comfortable, get some blocks, some blankets, some books work well, and you can just stack your pillows on top here. And the first posture that we're going to come into is like a straddle pose. So if you're really tight in your hamstrings, you can put blocks or blankets underneath your knees to support. If you're feeling like this is super tight here, it's really good to support underneath your knees like this. It's a pretty big difference if you can just allow yourself to be supported. And if you'd like to put a blanket underneath your tailbone to kind of prop yourself forward, that works well too. So the first thing we're going to do is just set up so that you've got a nice bolster kind of effect here, however you can do that if you got 2 or 3 pillows. And then we're just going to fold down over the bolster. I'm going to let my feet flop instead of trying to hold them in place. And we'll be here for about 3 minutes. So if you can't come all the way down to wherever your bolster is, you can stack your hands and maybe rest your chin here, or you can fold, you can turn your head over to the left, maybe over to the right. But wherever it feels comfortable for you is the perfect place. Another thing you can do is just allow your head, your chin to rest in your hands. And not trying to control the breath here. We're just really sending the message to the nervous system to calm down, to settle down for the night, to rest, to reset, restore, and allow ourselves to be supported and to be instead of do. For most of us, that's a pretty hard practice. So just encourage you to allow yourself to be and not do. We've been here a little over a minute. We've got 2 minutes to go. So maybe put on some music that you like and breathe and be. And breathe and be. So if your mind starts to wander, just bring it back to the attention of the breath. A lot of times when we're trying to settle in, our mind starts making lists and it starts having lots of thoughts. And part of this practice that is so powerful is learning to hear the mind start going, but not let it go down that bunny rabbit trail. So allow yourself to notice the thought, but let it go. And then come back to the attention of the breath. So feeling what we call prana, life force, energy. Feel that breath. Notice the temperature of the breath. Notice the way your body breathes. The expansion of the lungs. The inhale and the exhale is easy. Every emotion has a breath associated with it. So see if you can have a calm, steady breath. And the breath will help calm the mind down. So again, we're just signaling the nervous system that it's time to rest, to let go. Practicing being easeful. And taking 3 more breaths in this posture, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out and in and out. So if you are down on a bolster, lower, you can use your hands to really slowly allow yourself to come back to a seated posture. Use your hands underneath your knees to draw the knees in. Oh yeah. And then slowly move your bolster or your pillows, whatever you have, over to the side. And we're going to come into a pose that I really like. It's like a reindeer pose, and it's a little bit of a twist. So your right hip is going to be right against the props that you have, and then you can bring your left, whichever side you're on, you've got your hip right against that, and then your knee is going to come straight out, and then you can, wherever it feels okay, you can either bring your knee right to that foot, or you can bring it behind you. Find where it feels okay for you. Bring your hands to either side of the bolster, the pillows, whatever you have, and then take a breath in. And on the exhale, just melt down. So you can let your head rest facing the same way that your knees are. If you want more of a twist, you can bring your opposite cheek to the bolster and get this nice full body twist. And we'll be here for just a couple more minutes. If you've had your head turned one way, you can turn it the other way for this last little bit. Just making sure not to strain the neck. Just allowing gentle opening. Yin is really, and restorative is about supporting the body and assuring the body that it is safe, that it is being supported as it opens up. This energetic work is so powerful. Take 3 more breaths here. And really slowly again, use your hands on either side of your support. Let your head just hang heavy until you get all the way back up. Great. Extend your legs out, shake them out, and then we'll just do some reverse tabletops. Hands are pointed toward you, and then you're going to lift the hips up. Maybe the head comes back up and down a few times just to give some nice blood flow back to the hips. Good. And then you'll switch sides. So you can bring your support over to your right side. And again, the hip is going to be right against that support. And the knee is going to come right out from the hip. So you've got the support right next to you. And then figure out where it feels okay for your knee, for your back foot to be. Great. And then turn toward your support, your bolster. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, just lay down onto that support. Taking a nice big breath and letting it go with a ha. And again, you can stay with your head facing this way. If it feels okay to come into that full twist, you can turn your head the opposite way. Just allow yourself to be supported and rest. And just fall into the posture. our plan with restorative practice is to usher in a sense of peace. So just breathing in peace and letting go of any thoughts or any things that might be bothering you or that are on your mind. Just allowing peace to be the primary feeling. So thinking of a place that feels peaceful, coming into a sense of a peaceful breath, breathing in and out, nice and easy, not really trying to control it, but tuning in to this easeful posture. We have 1 more minute to go. So if you're new to a yin type of practice, there are 3 principles. And the first principle is to work your edge. So we're not trying to feel something really dramatic. We're really just trying to sense the body and where you feel that first bit of resistance. So if you feel the resistance up here, then this is where you practice. If you need to come down lower and that's where you feel that twist, that low back, then this is where you practice. For some people, they need to be in a full twist, and so it depends on your body, so be mindful, pay attention to that, but work with your edge and practice there. The second principle of yin is to find stillness. So instead of fidgeting or moving the fingers, you really try to come to a place that the body is still. And then the magic is time. So we practice these poses for 3 to 5 minutes. We're practicing most of these for 3 minutes. And we'll take 3 more breaths here, breathing in and out, breathing in and out, breathing in and out. Use your hands to help guide you back up. Tuck the chin, let the head hang heavy. Great. Extend the legs out. Let's windshield wiper the legs this time. So just dropping the knees, feet are wide from one side to the other. Good. Extend the legs out. And the next couple of postures we're going to do are going to be against the wall. So bring your pillows not quite to the wall, because you really want to be able to get your bottom toward the wall, but you want some support underneath your low back. So the way I like to do this is I scoot, I'll show you, I scoot right up to the wall, sideways like this, and then I'll bring these kind of behind me here. And then you lift your legs up to the wall. So for me, this feels really open on my mid-back, which is what I like for this. If this doesn't feel okay to you, you can take the blankets away. But you'll just bring your legs up the wall, and then we're going to have a wide-legged opening for this first part of the practice. So just go ahead and let your legs fall open, and not trying to force them, but just wherever they land, that's the perfect place to practice. And this little bit of lift underneath my mid-back feels great with the opening of my heart, allowing myself to feel really grounded down here, and noticing the heartbeat, noticing the breath, letting go. So we talked about playing your edges, working your edges. You might notice after about a minute the legs feel like they can maybe fall open a bit more. You can allow that, or you can just bring the legs back up wherever it feels okay to you. Some people, it feels good to, got a little cramp in my hip here. It feels good to have the legs bent. So whichever way feels appropriate for you for this practice, breathe into that. If you do happen to get a cramp in your leg, you can just extend the legs up, which is the next posture that we're going to do. Sometimes if the hips are super tight and you come into these wide leg postures, they can give you a little bit of resistance there. So the counter to that is just to bring the legs straight up the wall. We have 1 more minute here. You can support underneath the outside of the legs with your hands. Feels really nice. And just scan the body for places that you are holding, and see if you can send the message, let go, release. This is an energetic practice as well as a practice that is opening up fascia, connective tissue, which wraps our muscles. A lot of times people get really bound up in how deep they can go in a yang practice, in more of a vinyasa style practice, because their connective tissue is so tight. So if you practice vinyasa, this will help you get deeper into your postures because you're opening up that basically saran wrap that is around all of your muscles. Good. Take 3 more breaths here. And after your 3rd breath, use your hands on the outside of the legs to just kind of bend them in, and then we'll end our practice here with the legs straight up the wall. Maybe placing 1 hand on the belly, 1 hand on the heart. Feeling the breath as it moves in and out of the body. If you would like to move the blankets from underneath your back and just lay flat on the ground, that's perfect as well. And we'll be here for about 3 minutes. You can just feel the blood draining from the limbs, maybe extending the arms out. This is fantastic for the lymph system. And that for this posture, it's important not to be right up against the wall. It's definitely preferred to have something right underneath your hips. So you just want a little bit of a lift here. All that work that the heart has to do to pump the blood to the extremities. This takes the pressure off the heart. This is one of the primary practices that we teach for cardiovascular health, is giving the opportunity for the heart to not have to pump so hard and to relax and rest. So breathe into this posture of restoration. If you'd like, you can bring your arms above your head. You can hold on to opposite elbows. Just opening up the rib cage a bit more. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like, but if you're ready to finish your practice, take 3 very big breaths into the belly here. Breathe in, hot out. Breathe into the belly, hot out. One last time, breathe into the belly and hot out. Great. Release the arms down if they're over your head, bend your knees, and just roll over onto your right side. Cradle your head in your arms, and take a moment to offer gratitude. Gratitude that you have taken the time to rest, restore, usher in peace. And as slowly as you can, keep your head tucked. Make your way back to a seated posture. If you're against a wall, sit right against that wall with the legs crossed and the hands at heart center. Head bowed to the heart. May you have rest. May you feel restored. May you know peace. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.